I'm Weixin, now a second-year PhD student in material science. I love Imperial, and I think graduate student union can do better in the next term or next year. So I just want to try my best to provide a better service in the future for the whole postgraduate students at Imperial. I think they care the question the graduate union can serve, right? And I think I can propose the solutions to meet their requirement in the future. You know, before I have worked in graduate student union as a volunteer, and I'm familiar with how graduate student union works. So I think I will be familiar with the work the graduate student union should do, and hopefully we can come up with more activities that the postgraduate student can feel interested and benefit. So at the moment, our slogans is including 4 points, basically. The first one, we will try our best to create more career fairs for the PhD students and master students in the future. And I think this is the most important part for the development of the student, right? The second one, I think we can focus on the food, alcohol, sports for the whole Imperial students, basically. We want to listen to their ideas and improve further. And the third one, we want to open some free professional skills courses and finance courses for some engineers like me in material science, right? The fourth one is to enhance the communication between the students and the graduate school. I think the graduate school can understand the life, the study, the research of the postgraduates, and we can improve together.
I'm McCrone. This is my 5th year here now at Imperial. I did my bachelor's in geology, and I then went on to do a postgraduate taught master's course in petroleum geoscience. So I'm an RSM boy by background, and thankfully got elected into the role of Deputy President for Education for the past year, where I've really been kind of investing my time into educational matters across the college for postgraduates and undergraduates, and have about 4 to 5 months left of that. Yeah, so that's my background. I think I'm a kind of a jack of all trades, master of none. I have many things I like to be involved with, ranging from sports. I, for example, got my black belt in Muay Thai boxing at the age of 13, and I'm also quite musical. I got my grade 6 on the violin. So I like to have many interests which keep me excited about life, and I think that's also reflected in my work, and it's why I've enjoyed the role so far this year, because there's been so many projects to keep me motivated and interested in the work I'm doing, and I'd hope that would continue as GSU president. I feel that I have better experience, and I also strongly believe that I have better ideas to bring to the table. Better experience because I've seen the undergraduate side, I've really experienced that perspective. I've also experienced the postgraduate side, being a master's student, and it's almost been so nice this year to look back on those experiences and to really see it more completely, and to think where undergraduates are better represented than postgraduates, where those voids sit, and where I can work next year as GSU president to establish those voids and to fill them in, so to speak. But also I see GSU president, by the way, as a form of continuity from this role to really tie off loose ends with many of the postgraduate projects I've been working on. I feel like better ideas. Those ideas have actually kind of arisen through the connections and platforms I've established this year. I've really seen deeply into the kind of college structures, the union structures for representing postgraduate students, and they've given me insights into where things aren't done so well and where things can be improved. So yeah, I generally feel I have better experience and better ideas. But I think the first thing we have to do is dissociate our affiliation to the GSU as this really great body that represents postgrad students, which it does, by the way, especially when there's an active committee. But we have to think more completely about how postgraduates are represented at this university. GSU is kind of an Australian entity that does a great job of representing postgraduates on welfare and social fronts, but you have to remember that there's many other infrastructures in place, including constituent unions, including the central union, and I hope to use my experience from this year to really bridge those gaps and to actually embed the GSU deeper into those structures, so that ultimately postgrad representation is stronger and the postgrad voice is heard louder and clearer when it needs to be. And you'll see that on my manifesto. That is one of my headline aims, to strengthen postgraduate representation.
My name is Weifeng. You can also call me Paul. I come from China. It is my first year PhD, and I'm studying in materials department. Yeah, and I'm so happy to devote time to doing this interesting, and I think it also challenge vote. Okay, yes, and I'm very happy to sit here to chat with you. The most special thing for me, if you want to give a label for only or something, maybe cereals. Cereals sometimes. I'm not often smile or speak louder to others.
Would you say?
It depends on my characterization. You know, okay. And personality, I'm not very sure. Okay, yeah, and it also comes from my family. Yeah, and yes, and another reason is what I'm working on. Yes, I focus too much time on academics, so sometimes looks very nerd, not very happy or not very showing myself. Yes, okay, thank you. As I can understand, every year we Chinese people have passion to invoke to the voting, and also I get advice from the former president or deputy president. This is first advantage. Yeah, I can have a good continue work from the former president or people. Yeah. The second one is I used to doing many social work in China, but it's different. It is more like to serve for government, but not for people. So different. I can understand what difference between this, and also I want to have experience in Western countries doing this kind of social work, as we think.
Okay,
yeah. Frankly speaking, I don't have a very focused key point for this. For this working, because I'm not running for the president. I'm running the deputy president. The first thing, as many Chinese people will say, is to have a good assistant to president, as we can understand of this structure. The second is we have many you can understand the slogan or something in government to, for example, to have a good to take some activities with different countries. The international work. That Chinese people always stay together and have little communication with others. This what I want to put forward. Yes.
My name is Xian. I've been living in Chiswick, London for the past 15 years. I'm originally from Slovakia. I work as a junior lawyer in one of the private family law firms, and I am in my first year of two. I'm doing MBA here in Imperial. They'll probably say two things. The first thing is a sort of sport I love doing, and that is horse riding. It involves a bit of risk and speed, which I do love. To be a horse riding, definitely. And the second thing, I think I would say that I care about people. I do work with children, been doing for the past few years for children with children from problematic backgrounds and children who's got with difficult behaviour. So we're trying to help them to get back on the path to reach their good grades, get to good universities, and then do the jobs they really want to do, rather than wasting their time. Well, what I do have at data on is a current experience. I'm currently running GSU from the position of events officer. So that's one strong point that I guess I can use as an advantage. Second is experience overall. I, as a lawyer, I do have a lot of networks of people I can network with. Obviously, as a VP operations, one of the tasks that one have to do is to seek sponsorship, and I think that's my second great advantage. I can really provide for the GSU for this current year and for the future years to come with a lot of contacts from within the educational community and from outside the school, with a lot of sponsorships, which GSU really needs. We have loads in our schedule for this year and for the next year if we I think that the best way to connect with people is through events, social events, educational events, professional events, car fairs. The first event we will be running is virtual reality events, and everybody is involved and welcome to attend. It's also free for everybody. And I really encourage everybody to come, undergrads and postgrads. So one of the plans for GSU is to connect not just PGs amongst them, but also undergrads and postgrads. All the faculties we need to get together, and I'd like to do that through working with the council team. And that's the best way to do it is through compromise, because there's a lot of aims at different levels. On a UG level and on a PG level, but I think through compromises we can really get things up and running, and where everybody will gain.
I've been working under the current Vice President for Presentation as a faculty officer at the GSU this year, and I really liked what he was doing, and I really liked what I was doing, and I wanted to contribute a little more. I'm foreign, you may hear it to the way I speak. I'm actually French and Swiss, so I'm almost as multinational as Imperial. Almost. I study for a 2-year master's in physics here, and I really enjoy it. But I feel like from what I see, postgrads aren't treated like other students. People kind of tend to ignore them, be it the union or the higher up administration. So honestly, they would probably tell I'm very enthusiastic about many things, about lectures, about events, about going out. They might also tell you that I sometimes take a lot of space. Not like space when I talk or anything, just space on the lab bench, space in the lab. So yeah, this is something I need to work on. What else can they tell you? That I speak French, because I often
Excellent,
research
very
things
useful.
when and that I know how to swear in a number of languages, including Russian and German. I think my experience gives me an edge. I mean, I've seen how the GSU works a little. I've seen how council works a little. I've been to every council since the start of the year. And this is actually how I learned by the GSU. At the first council I went to NAS, it said, say NAS, I know I missed the first elections, but is there anything that I can do to help? Because I want to help. I want democracy to keep existing, and I know it takes effort. And he told me about the GSU, and that's how I arrived at the GSU. So I mean, they could have done the same demarche when they arrived. So I think I'm more voluntary than them.
I think
I've been the post-grad at a number of union councils. I've been there when I've also been the only maybe there were like 2 postgrads in the room when the whole council discussed something that was specifically about postgraduates and what was proposed by undergraduates. So I've defended the right of postgraduates then, as I do every day. I've been to a number of staff student committees. My plans for the role would be very simple. It would be to get all the students to speak up. I mean, you can't represent Muse. You need them to talk to you. You need them to speak to you. But when they speak, you need to shout. You need to stand. You need to not give your life for the cause, but make a pretty decisive action. So I think things that scare students is the impact Brexit could have on scholarship for EU students. So I want college to announce clearly what they will do in case of Brexit, how they will keep STF.
So would you say that you would connect or try to connect all the postgraduates and make them speak out through your good leadership skills, or
for my enthusiasm? I mean, people are not fundamentally apathetic. People just sometimes they just forget about it. So you need to be there. You
they need to
keep,
believe something?
They don't need necessarily to believe in something. I think everybody believes a little. That's why it's so easy to just make it come out just by speaking to them, by engaging them, by being joyful and enthusiastic and hopeful, and telling them that if they just speak up, things will get better. Because they do. People think it's a big, complicated process and everything, but you can get results just by speaking up. I mean, college is not some evil wizard that's hell-bent on making our life difficult. They dream of hearing from us. They just don't know how to tell. They're just very bad at engaging with us. It's our role at the GSU, and it will be my role as GSU Deputy President to get the words of students to the ears of the college. That's all I should do.
Actually, I'm a experienced student officer. It means I do my service for students in many countries, in China, in the Netherlands, and even in the North Korea. So I guess that would be really interesting for all of you, especially I have serviced for students in North Korea. For me, the different point, not the better point, is that I try to, maybe they try to do some special things, but I try to ensure we can build a system. I mean, that's the difference from our inside. I try to ensure a system that every student can reflect their voice from this system rather than represented by ourselves. I mean, we are reps, but our duty is not make our voice be heard. Is to make everyone's voice be heard. Actually, now I'm a rep in computing, the Department of Computing, and from my one term, actually now it's 2 terms work experience, I feel that I can do a lot. As a rep, I do achieve some goals, such as I convince the staff of our department to give an exemption for all the students who didn't pass a model, and they can continue to study without this pre-request model. And that's really important for our students, especially for MSc students who can only study here for 1 year. And of course, during my work, I also felt that I need more help from GSU, especially from the representation department, because there are many. Our students have many problems, but the department can't solve all of them. Some problems have to be solved by the faculty or by the college. However, for both reps and the students, they don't have a easy way to reflect their problems to higher level. So I run for this position and try to build a system for all of graduate students to get a chance to reflect their problems.
Hello, I'm Xian. I'm for first year PhD in Dyson School of Design Engineering, and I'm from China. My research topic is the designing dual combat helmet to reduce the traumatic brain injury. I think this is quite useful. I think this work may probably reduce injuries and promote people's life. And I'm now running for the deputy president of representation of the Graduate Student Union. So I hope you could look into my manifesto and support me. I think they would say that I'm a very flexible and fine person. For flexible, because I usually traveled to other countries, and when I was traveling, each time I travel with different friends. So, but no matter whom they are, I can always develop a very close friendship and share a very happy time during the trip. So I'm a very flexible person, and also I'm a very funny person. I can make jokes and make them laugh all the time. First of all, I have experience. I have work experience in different countries, but I think most of other candidates do not have experience. They just start their master or PhD from undergraduate. They didn't work in the industry. So this work experience enables me to know exactly what the industry wants from the university, what kind of job they can offer, what kind of person they are looking for. So I'm running for the representation rather than operation because I want to represent our university to seek international jobs for our masters and PhDs, because for most master students, their study duration is only 1 year, and they are eager to find a job. And most of them are international students who are planning to get back to their own country to find a job. So I know some of the Chinese students, when they finish the study here, when they get their master degree, they cannot find Chinese companies holding recruitment here. So they have to get back to China to find a job there. This means that this process would create a large gap between their graduation and the time they find the job. This is wasting time and would affect their work history. So I think for me, I have work experience. I know what exactly the industry wants and what kind of person, what kind of job they can offer, and I have some connections with Chinese big companies. So in this way, I can represent Imperial College to invite as many as Chinese or international companies to come over to Imperial to hold the recruitment. So I think this is very useful because in the company side, they don't know that the international students has the demand to find a job at the United Kingdom, since they are still in the study program. They cannot spend 1 or 2 months to go back to their countries to do that. So there is a lead here in our Imperial College, and also there is a lead in international companies because they are waiting for graduates from the university and then come to their companies to apply for a job. This create a gap between their demands and their needs. So I think for me, if I get this role, I will try my best to invite and expand the career choices for imperial students, especially for the master students, since they only have 1 year study, so time is limited for them. So to my best knowledge, I think the career choice the imperial is doing is more for the undergraduate, since most of them would graduate to find a job. Because as far as I know, most of the PhDs or masters are not graduated from imperial college with a bachelor degree. They are coming from other universities. So most of the career opportunities are focused on the undergraduates. So the master students do not have enough choice to do that. And usually when we hold some recruitment, we in the past we invite some Chinese companies to come over. And the biggest problem we usually face is that in the recruitment we cannot find suitable people to come over. Most of the people come here is undergraduate students, but maybe the company requires students with with a master degree or PhD degree, so that's not suitable for the company. So another role, so I think this is a weakness because we did not find the target students for recruitment for career service. So I think if I represent the GSU, I would do my best to try to find what the postgraduate students needs and meet their demands.